You man, I have to say something about this review quickly before we start. I nearly threw up twice watching this. I nearly threw up 2 times.
Put that in. Hey, let's start.
We started, bro. I threw up 2 times. But let's go. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Small Time Critics podcast. Thank you for joining us. Today, on this episode, we're going to be doing a Babylon review. New movie by Damien Chazelle, starring Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and Diego Calva. There's been a lot of buzz about this one. But yeah, before we go, I'm with the homies. So, homies, introduce yourselves.
What up? I don't need to introduce myself. What up? Hey, listen, I'm infamous. Let me Mo, let me live.
No, don't do it. This is your time.
Go on, Ash.
Do you want to tell them your name?
No, they know me. Look,
they know me.
It's Cam.
That's what Martin said. It's Cam.
And I'm Mohammed Hashi. Let's go.
Let's do this.
So, guys, Babylon review. So we both watched it very recently. It came out in the UK, 2 days ago?
Yes.
So for us, yeah, I watched it yesterday. When did you watch it?
I watched it opening night.
What about you, Cam?
Same.
Opening night, yeah?
Yeah. You know what? I was actually meant to watch it with Hash, but yeah, I couldn't travel. But one thing I must say before we move on, that movie, it is stacked.
Hold on. So, okay. Yeah, so Kem, if you don't know, Kem was quite far from us, isn't it? So organizing these, we actually have to work hard to try and get this done. It's quite a task. But Kem is here, he's dedicated and all of that. And by the way, this is going to be a spoiler review. So if you ain't seen it and you want to see it, go watch it, come back to this video. You know what I'm saying? Put it on your watch later on YouTube or whatever, or download it on the Spotify's and whatnot. Come watch it later. If you don't care about spoilers, keep watching, keep listening. It's all good. Doesn't matter. I've done that before. But yeah, also, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when the videos are coming up. It will be really helpful. Leave a comment as well. Just be nice, you know. Rate us on Spotify, Apple Music, all of those. Google Podcasts.
5 stars.
5 stars, please.
5
yes.
stars.
Do the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, all right, cool. Before we get onto the nitty gritty, tell me your overall thoughts. I'm gonna start with you, Kev. Overall thoughts on the movie.
It's a hard. To be honest, I didn't expect you to start with me because it's a hard one. It's overall thoughts.
I always start with Hashi. I tried to.
No, you started with me last time as well. You keep doing this. You keep forgetting. No.
Cam, hurry up. Cam, stop stalling.
Let me live, man.
Go.
So yeah, no. You know what? Overall thoughts. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I went into the movie not knowing what's going to happen, not knowing what it's about, and didn't see any trailers. Slow build, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, cool. Hashi, overall thoughts.
This movie was disgusting, debaucherous, amazing, bombastic, and an instant classic. I absolutely love this film. There are certain aspects of this film that I would disown. But there's so many other aspects of this film which I love, and I will rewatch, and I will quote, and I will refer to for the rest of the time.
Aye.
This movie is so divisive, and after I came out, I totally understood why. But overall, this is a great movie, and it should be celebrated. This shouldn't be Damien Chazelle's last movie, like some people are saying. It was a great movie. There were some great performances in this movie, some fantastic set pieces, and I cannot wait to go into it.
I like that, man. I when you started off, I thought you were about to trash the movie.
Bro.
So do you not think we're going to be 3 for 3 with this?
I don't know. But one thing I can say is we are going to really I'm sure we've connected with the same kind of parts of the movie. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, man. I think I like this a lot. Like, it was very long. The runtime is what?
3 hours and 10 minutes.
3 hours and 10 minutes. There you go. So it is a super long movie. And I'm probably not going to rewatch it anytime soon. It'll probably be a while until I watch it again because it's just getting through a movie that long sometimes can be a task. But I will say this, I was never bored during that movie.
100%.
I really, 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 really enjoyed it. So yeah, like you said, the acting was great. The score was amazing.
The score was incredible. The score was a character unto itself.
Yeah. The cinematography, the camera work was great. I loved there was some really cool continuous one-shots that were in the movie that I loved, man.
Yeah.
Go on.
We'll talk about it because that's one of my takeaway from this movie. Cool. That continuous one shot.
Yeah.
Again, as I said before, I didn't have any sort of anticipation of the movie. Never went in there looking to sort of like the movie. It was a task at first.
Yeah.
before the film started, obviously, because I had to do it for the pod. Talking about that continuous shot, there's one shot in this movie that I don't know if I want to touch on it now because it's in the movie and I think we may have to build up to it, but my God, it was incredible. It put me in a place where I was so uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm thinking this is masterful. It's and I think are you sort of kind of getting understanding where
I know exactly the scene you're talking about. And that scene. Are we okay? Let's go to it. Let's get into it.
Look. Okay.
Hold on, but before we talk about that scene, I started this pod by saying I nearly threw up twice. The first time I threw up was literally in the first scene of the movie.
The elephant.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. They did a POV view of the like why? As soon as I saw that, I turned to my wife like this. I was clenched up, bro, and I was almost like gagging and shit. Like bro? I couldn't take it, bro, and it just kept on coming down. And I was watching a review of someone that did a review of this movie, and they brought up an interesting point, cause that moment was so shocking. A couple minutes later, when that woman peed on that man. It wasn't so shocking because we're still recovering.
We're desensitized.
I was just like, what the hell, man? Because when she actually peed, I was just like, yeah, whatever. Do you know what I mean?
It was crazy. Yeah. Like, this is why I go into the debauchery and that kind of stuff. And it goes into
this movie had audacity.
It absolutely went for it. Yeah. Like, and it goes into the performances of like Margot Robbie, who is a classical like movie star. She's a star.
Sure.
And for her to go crazy the way she did, showing nipple, she absolutely went for it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll go into all the stuff that she did and stuff like that. But yeah, go on, Cam.
No. I just wanted to. I didn't want this segment to go past without me making a statement. Yeah. To me, there's certain elements of this movie was just rude, and I don't mean rude in a way of like
offensive.
No, it was blatant rude. Like, look at me, I'm doing this. So what? Deal with it. Yeah. And it was fantastic. Yeah. Like the audacity of some of the stuff in there.
Yeah.
To like, you know what? So what?
Yeah.
Because mentioning the first scene when the elephant done that. Yeah. I was somewhat offended. I was like you're hitting with doo-doo now.
Yeah.
Yeah? And I was like, really? No, because I'm sitting down thinking, because don't forget, I went into the movie not knowing anything. Yeah. And it was a chore at first, because I looked at the runtime, I'm thinking, 3 hours, I'm not about to do this. And I was tired as well.
Yeah.
And then it hit me, I was like, so when you say the rest of the stuff, the golden, I'm like, what more?
Yeah.
What more?
Even before the elephant part, it was like I feel like there's aspects of the movie people don't talk about. It was quite funny. Yeah. Like right before the elephant, the guy's like, "What the hell is that? Yeah. Is that an elephant?" Like, they've seen it before.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
And I was just like dying about that. And especially scenes with like, I think his name is Jovan Adepo. He played Sidney Palmer with his boys saying, "I'm gonna headbutt you in your lips."
Yo, let me tell you,
that was a funny joke, by the way. Yeah,
bro. That was just comical, and great. I was loving it because the dynamic. You know what? I'm not trying to pivot and bring it to us. Yeah, the dynamics in that situation. Yeah, it's me and Hash. It's me and Hash. And I was busting up thinking, you know what? Yeah, Hash is giving you all his classical takes. Yeah, and I'm like, and this, bro,
it's very relatable.
It is so good. It's so good.
That scene was very relatable. But yeah, no, like the first one shot we see is in that party, and obviously we're kind of following Manny Torres, Diego Calva's character for the most part.
He's an audience surrogate.
Yeah, right. And I didn't warm up to him till kind of like midway through the movie. In the beginning, I kind of thought he was a bit like whatever, but afterwards, like as it kept on going, I was like, wow, he's really playing the hell out of his role. I quite enjoyed it.
It's very relatable. I think just to sorry, Kim, I think it's relatable in regards to kind of it's someone that's really trying to like make a dream come true.
Yeah.
Trying to secure his future, trying to get a job, you know what I mean?
That scene he had with Margot.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was incredible. And then it goes to like him after the whole debaucherous kind of opening party where we get introduced to the characters, the world, something like that. I thought obviously Brad Pitt's introduction was fantastic. By the way, if anyone out there can get me Brad Pitt sunglasses in that movie, I would love that. I've already started looking, by the way. I'm already searching. Yeah. But yeah, the introduction to his character, and by the way, I don't know if you guys clocked Olivia Wilde. By the way,
she was the wife.
Yeah, she was his first wife.
Yeah, no, of course.
And it's kind of funny how she was in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna be more in it. Do you know that scene when he started talking Italian? Yeah,
that was brilliant.
I just thought of the scene in Inglourious Basterds, like buongiorno,
Gorlami.
Do you remember?
Gorlami.
Anyway, listen.
That's one of my favorite scenes ever. I love that scene so much.
So
the Inglourious Basterds one, not the thing, but
So going back to Manny Torres and Molly, what's her name?
Nelly
Leroy. Okay, so I had issues with that. Yeah, as I said, Manny Torres, like I was conflicted all the way through because I was like, I love this, I rate this, but from my point of view, is you've got two routes into the industry. One because of sheer luck and determination in a sense that she wants to make it regardless, and one out of grit, work ethic. He'll do anything to get the job.
Are you talking about the difference between the two characters?
Yeah, because essentially this is my take from it. So you've got Margot Robbie, who she's gonna take it. She's gonna take her chances, but it's not worked for. Yeah, her beauty plays a part. Can
I say something?
Go for it.
Do you know what it is? It's kind of like that thing. You know when people say, if you want to go somewhere, just go with a ladder and a
you can walk in.
Jacket's called
high-vis
jacket, and people will just accept that you're part of the crew. And you just walk in. She did that so perfectly. She went into she opened the right doors. She went into the right places, and just luckily she got that paper that said, "Hey, you're in the movie."
You know something funny? Something funny. I'm not going to take too long. So years ago, I used to work at the BBC.
Oh God!
Yeah. No. My God! No. Hear this. Years ago, I used to work at the BBC. Yeah, and someone in the BBC, like obviously like an elder, gave me this gem of advice. Yeah. Always have a notepad and a pen. Yeah. If you're bored or if you don't have nothing to do, always have a notepad and a pen, because when people are looking on, they think that you're doing something or you're important.
Yeah.
I used to do it every day.
Walk with purpose as well.
Walk with purpose, 100%. And that's what she done.
She did that. The security guy was kind of like, "Where are you going?" But when she came and she crashed that statue, right? I was like, "Oh yeah, she belongs in this party." Of course. I was like, "She belongs in this party."
I was sold. Yeah. So quickly going back to them two, like Manny would do anything, and he'll do anything asked for him to get recognized, to do it the right way. Yeah, to fulfill his dream. But then there's an aspect of like, I again, don't come for me. There's an aspect of white privilege there. Yeah, she got there because of her beauty and because she could fit in there. He was being bossed around, do that, because of his demographic.
I didn't understand what was like. He was a. He looked after the animals.
No, right? He was just a runner. He's a runner. He was a runner, and he would do anything that is needed. Going now
because he got the animals. Then they're like, "Come help us with this dead one."
Yeah, he's a runner.
And then I was like, "Hey, what is his job?"
But
I get it now.
What do you think of that situation with the dead girl,
right,
who OD'd?
Yeah,
and that's because I was quite baffled when that happened. So she was she casted in the production? Oh, she was casted.
I think what it was is that Margot Robbie was like the closest person that looked like her.
Yeah.
So they were just like, you know what, just take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how I took it.
Yeah. And then also, by the way, after the opening that we just spoke about, I always love a late kind of title card, by the way, because as soon as the pie is over and we've introduced all the characters, we get Babylon.
Yeah.
And I've always loved that. I've always loved the title card. We had one recently in Drive My Car, last year's kind of Oscar-nominated movie from Japan. And I've always liked that. That one came 45 minutes into the movie. This one came probably about 30 minutes into the movie.
Was it right after Manny took Jack Conrad home?
It was right before that.
Right before that, okay. Because I was just going to say about that scene, they skipped the dancing part that was in the trailer.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Again, that's something we're gonna get into on this podcast in regards to kind of trailers and stuff like that, and what's right to show and stuff like that.
You know when he falls off the balcony?
Yeah, he did a little
in
dance
the trailer.
before.
He does a little dance and then he trips over the balcony. But in this one, he just stood there.
And
Oh, see, I wasn't aware because I didn't see any of the trailers.
And again, sometimes there's a benefit in watching in not watching trailers, because then you can get a really great surprise, stuff like that. But for this one again, we'll go into conversation about like trailers and how it misleads and stuff like that in another kind of podcast. That's literally a topic unto itself. But I think regarding once he gets to his house, once Manny takes him, Jack Conrad, the Brad Pitt character, to his home, he does the kind of talks about movies and the importance and changing the form and stuff like that, and bringing the art form forward and stuff like that. And then he falls into by the way, beautiful house, by the way. Did you see the Spanish tile?
It was great, yeah.
Beautiful, old, you know what I mean?
It's weird. I did turn to my wife and I said, that's a nice...
This beautiful house.
I think it was the pool when they were going past the house. Like, this is nice.
Swimming pool and like a small kind of like beach house. It was fantastic.
There was so many symbolism within that movie that caught me off guard, and I'm thinking, is it an actual symbolism? Or am I seeing this, or am I thinking it is? But it's good. There's so many stuff in there. That's brilliant. Do you see the way he fell off the actual off the balcony and into the pool?
Sure. Yeah.
I thought that was some sort of like paying homage to something.
It was paying homage to kind of like the Buster Keaton kind of comedies and the kind of physical.
The way how he fell in. I knew it was something, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. One quick thing, I think it's a segue into it.
Yeah.
I was in stitches, but I loved the way how they portrayed sort of the art of acting, the professionalism, because Brad Pitt was literally, he was staggering, he was dropping over, he was done for as soon as they say scene. And Margot Robbie as well. Yes. That was amazing.
They were ready.
Yeah, no, because that, I don't think that was it's intentional, but there is symbolism behind that. Has to be.
That leads me into as soon as he kind of gets home and stuff like that, and he says, "I'm going to go sleep." He goes to bed, and Manny's there. Manny has a small nap, but just like as you're saying, Kem, the actor's professionalism. The guy was ready, dressed, and said, "Let's go to set," even though he just had maybe 2 hours of sleep. You know what I mean? Maybe less. And they get to set, and the kind of frenetic kind of scene of like all the different movies shooting in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Because old Hollywood was basically just a desert. Like at the start, when you just see like Bel Air, when you think of Bel Air, you think of like huge houses, you know what I mean? Like Millionaire Row, all that kind of stuff. But the start of Hollywood, it was just a desert. Yeah. With one yard. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was... And that kind of scene, that opening scene, you see all the different movies being made and stuff like that. And by the way, I don't know if you saw this, a lot of films in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, if they wanted to do snow and stuff like that and effects, they use very, very kind of harmful kind of like substances like asbestos.
Asbestos, yes.
So they were literally, you saw like people carrying bags of asbestos, and then kind of like...
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And again, I think a little fun fact, Wizard of Oz, any kind of snow in Wizard of Oz was all asbestos, by the way, and stuff like that. And then in that kind of sequence, you're seeing like all the different movies being made and stuff like that, and all the kind of different types of performances and stuff like that, and
the dangers of it as well.
Exactly.
Can I just mention? It's not. I don't want to talk about it. I want to hear you lot's opinion, because is there something behind that? In every movie they make, somebody dies, whether it's a prop or something.
Yeah. Again.
Because obviously you see when he said, he fell on the pole or whatever it is. When at first the guy dies, then the camera guy in the sweatbox dies.
Who was the first one?
When there was in the desert.
So he goes
the guy fell. He said,
he
ran into the pole.
Yeah. They're trying to kind of like mental gymnastics it kind of thing.
The sweatbox guy, that one pissed me off. I was like, you like evil, man. You lot are so evil.
That one, put a pin in that, because that's my favourite scene.
Oh, bro.
We'll get to it.
But before we get to that, please tell me. I'm actually asking, in fact, I asked both of you, that whole sort of dying, again, I don't know if it's just me being morbid, but is that whole sort of someone dying on set, is there anything to do with Alec Baldwin? No, I'm just asking. I don't mean it any negative way. I'm just thinking, is that some sort of shot
I would say
No,
I didn't
no.
think you meant in a bad way.
Okay,
I would say I didn't think of that.
No.
at the time.
I did.
I just thought of like the conditions back then were so like crazy.
There
and
you go, Ma.
the guys, like even that director, he just seemed
Spike Jones, by the way.
so
Spike
yeah.
Jones.
So Spike Jones and also the assistant director of the woman that was directing Margot Robbie.
Yes.
The guy, they just seem so determined to get this done.
Yeah,
you
they
see
don't
that
care.
scene, yeah. So, let's just go.
I know.
You see the sweatbox scene, yeah.
Okay, so just for the ones, this is the scene where Nelly Roy is doing the first kind of movie
In sound.
in sound,
Yes.
trying
In
to put
sound,
sound
yeah.
and the movie image together.
So they had no air conditioning.
Yes,
They
because it was
weren't
too loud.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to have like watches on.
Yes, all shoes had to be rubber soles.
She's had to be rubber soles. Couldn't open the doors.
Yep.
None of that stuff yet. I was like, this is, and she's taking pills at the same time.
Yeah.
And all of this sweat from the lights and everything. I'm like, this is such a stressful environment. Like the anxiety that Damien Chazelle wanted me to feel, I felt that.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And the assistant director, I think his name is RJ Byrne.
Yes.
I believe he's been in a lot of
Yeah.
movies.
He's a
isn't
fantastic
He's
actor.
quality.
And Wolf of Wall Street.
He
fantastic.
lost his
Yeah.
bro. But he was nuts. But he went crazy. Yeah, it's like when you know what. It was just.
It's so good.
It was just
It's so
when he got to that breaking point.
Yeah.
It was just even though the guy the top dog running the show was there, he didn't care.
Jeff Garlin.
He said, "Listen, I don't want to hear nothing. Yeah, this has to happen." But I was in absolute tears. I think I was the only one in the cinema. I think I was just childish.
No,
Every time I heard Mark, it was from Mark, Mark, and it just kept on going. I was thinking, you know what?
Even when he came out, he's like, get your
Yeah.
the man said, I'm done. I can't do no more.
That was great.
But that kind of goes into kind of the historical significance of that kind of time where sound engineers had an outsized kind of role in movie making in the kind of the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and into the advent of sound, where they kind of like basically ran the show essentially, because you saw how many times he came down, said, this kind of thing, you need to, stop, stop you have to hit your mark because we can't move this. If you want to move the mic, it's going to take an hour and stuff like that. And then his little kind of like battle that he had with Nelly.
Mark, yeah,
Nelly
that
Roy.
was great. So
That was hilarious.
About that, because I see this movie kind of as like a love letter to cinema, but also a criticism of like the industry.
And the practices. Hence
Right.
the reason why all the people died.
So that's what I was saying. So do you think that kind of like that scene, especially with the sound guy and the cameraman, alluded to that as well? Like,
of course.
Like, okay, you want us to do this thing, like move the
mic.
the mic, right? It's gonna take so long, but to other people, it's kind of like, oh, just do it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like putting these people in the back,
Yeah, the below the line
giving
people,
giving them these jobs that you think are super easy, but they're actually like they
Really,
take a
really
lot of work and stuff like that. And then I found that really interesting. Like aside from the fact that like the industry is, toxic and things like that, which is I thought
Even goes back to the kind of the union dispute, by the way. The union dispute at the start in the desert. Like, like they all wanted to get paid more and stuff like that. And
they're all junkies.
Yeah, they're all junkies. Yeah, they're all crazy. Like all from Skid Row. Kind of thing. And he said that. And the fact that even Brad Pitt told the Lucas Haas character, the producer character, I forgot the name. His best friend. Jack Conrad's.
Began with a G, I think. I'll get it though. Keep
Yeah,
going.
you'll get it. But that character was like, oh, have you got any experience with unions, union disputes? He said, yeah. And he goes, okay, no problem. He
Are
goes,
you talking about his friend that committed suicide?
Yes,
George.
George, yes.
Yeah, George.
And like he really like that was a great friendship, by the way. And you saw that kind of like.
I don't know about
The
that.
movie.
Well,
I need to talk to you about that.
Interesting.
So that friendship, right? I think it was a cool friendship. I think that Brad Pitt did love him.
Yeah.
But so obviously we're gonna skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, we can go back and forth if you don't want in it. But just to skip ahead, the scene where Jack finds out that his friend had committed suicide.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed. The first thing he says was like,
he was the only one who believed.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, gone.
He was the only one who believed in me. Yeah.
No, he was the first one
who told me I had talent.
Yes.
Yes. And I just saw that as like Brad Pitt. He's in this like his life is like kind of like he's always been the best at this acting thing. He's done what when he spoke to the makeup guy at the end. How many movies have we done
82
together?
Movies.
82. So you're telling me like probably 80 of them were great. Everyone loved those silent films or whatever it is. He did a perfect job every single time. But then like the insecurity of knowing that like, oh, my time is done and all of that stuff, and this
That's
guy.
something we need to talk about.
Yeah, so I just thought like, was he really his friend genuinely? Which I kind of feel like he was his friend, but also like, were you keeping him? Because even when they showed a cut of the movie, it's like, oh, I wish George could have seen this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, what were you keeping him around for? Kind of, do you know what I'm trying to say? I was kind of thinking about it like that a little bit.
The George character was a great producer as well. Like, he had good taste and like knew the right movies for Jack to be in and stuff like that. Hence the reason why he was such a really, really popular band.
But did he ever criticize? Did he ever tell him bad things?
I was thinking that is he just a yes man?
Yeah.
He kept him around to sort of prop his ego up,
Right.
because that came up a few times. Question his ego, and obviously, I think the fall of Jack Conrad coincided with the loss of George.
Yeah, I think that was the start of it all.
But even though, when he said to the guy, "Listen, am I helping you out?
Or am I bailing you out?
Am I bailing you out? Or was this an actually good movie?"
Yeah.
And it took him a while, and I think it was a different situation, different dynamics with George. So I was thinking that as well. Is he almost like he's my hype man? Like, am I good? Am I good? Yeah, I'm good. Let me go. But yeah,
he doesn't know what like he doesn't know what criticism is.
I think they kept that away when George kept that away from him. When superstars are doing their things, it's like you don't read you don't go into your comments.
Yeah.
When you're putting on stuff on social media, because that will ruin you like internally. And I think if I'm not wrong, George was that sort of person to keep him focused on his art, on the job. Don't worry about anything else. I will put you in the right direction, and sorry, and you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
So that was brilliant. Can I talk about that thing that I wanted to talk about from earlier on? That continues.
You want to get to it? Yeah?
Oh man!
So there's a specific scene Ken wants to talk about. Yeah, go on.
Sidney Palmer. Yeah.
Okay.
So he obviously with his old bandmates and everything, and he wasn't getting on because they weren't true to the cause, the music cause. Because clearly he was the connoisseur. He knew everything in regards to music. So he made that step up to go with Manny Torres and do bigger and better things. And he was in a situation where he had to throw all his morals out the window and do blackface.
Yeah.
For me, that aspect of the movie was like a horror movie.
That was so.
Please,
and by the way,
sorry, because I really want to talk about it, but I really want to hear you lot's opinion, because it struck me in so many different ways. I was angry.
Yeah, same.
I was angry for it. Go, Nash.
I was upset because once I realized that's where the kind of what the scene was going, and obviously we've seen in previous scenes how kind of compelling Manny can be in terms of getting what he wants, stuff like that, and everything in my being, and this is why I love movies, like I'm literally like on the edge of my seat, basically just willing Sydney to just say no and walk away, and then thinking that he might still say no, even though he was literally opening up the can. I'm seeing him put the thing, like on the, and I was like, don't do it, please don't do it, please don't do it, please don't do it. And like when he does it, and like you see how upset he is within himself.
He's soul destroyed.
Yeah, and like people around me were they were shocked. They were shocked, obviously, but me and Captain Hoods that was with me, we were like, we looked at each other like, oh no. Yeah, it was literally like a horror movie, and that moment I wanted to I was very interested to see. In my mind I was thinking it would have been really interesting to see like a Sidney Palmer movie, just a movie on its own with this character, because it's a really interesting character. Yeah, a person being a black man at this time in history, in this place in Hollywood. Yeah. In the advent from movies going from silent to sound, it would have been really interesting to see what a movie like that would have looked like. Yeah. And how he's a great actor, and like I knew for a fact as soon as he did it and it was over, that he would never do it again. He was done. All right, and he'll go back to the art.
1 second, you go Mo, because I want to say my piece on it. It'll be short, but I want to hear you.
I just thought like obviously we know the industry is the industry and it's messed up, innit? Especially at that time. But I was more pissed with Manny than anything, because I knew that he didn't want to do it, but he conformed. And that pissed me off so much. And like, Yeah, the blackface imagery, like I think it cut the scene cut just as he opened the can, and then when it came back later on and he's playing the instrument and it just pans down to his face and you see it and it looks so unnatural and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, but like you said, it made me angry, innit? And also at the same time, I was thinking to myself, on a like viewing perspective, it doesn't even look natural. What's the point of it?
Yeah.
Even before that, I think they were saying, it's going to be shown in Texas. All the black people down south, they won't know the difference. It's fine. Or like he was trying to say just Manny was trying to say just leave it as it is, innit? Kind of thing. And the guy was trying to convince him to do it and stuff like that. So that made me think like Manny didn't want to do it. Yeah. But he conformed in the end, didn't it? And that's what it is.
So okay, this is what I want to talk about. Again, as I said before, that scene, that piece was just. It was brilliant in so many ways.
It was hard to watch.
It was very hard to watch. When I say it was brilliant, I'm talking about how the Sidney Palmer took that shot and gave us, as you say, the horrors. Like literally everything came up into me. All like segregation, like down south, all Martin, Malcolm. Everything came up to everything came up. But what I took away from that, angered me so much. That Manny was willing, knowing where he came from, how we got into the business, he was still willing to conform, at any cost, just so he could make a picture. So he knew what he was doing to Sidney Palmer. He knew the whole time, even though it was killing him inside to actually ask him. Yeah. I was so angry with Manny more than anything else.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He couldn't even look him in the eyes.
No,
he couldn't
even look him in the eyes.
And I was looking at that and thinking, you know what? Like you spent most of your time in America trying to get into the business, being stepped on, being asked to do everything, being asked to carry an elephant and have elephant doo-doo like on you or near you, and you're asking the man.
And then you became one of them.
You became one of them. Yeah. I was so upset, but it was such a great scene. Yeah.
Again, it's the kind of like advantage of having an audience surrogate kind of character and seeing them go from their kind of dream and the way they see the world to reality, and then eventually coming out the other side, either coming out learning the lessons, learning like the good and the right and the wrong of that kind of life, and then coming out the other side, going into a different path, or literally continuing on that descent to hell, basically.
No, of course.
And ultimately, Manny chooses the right way to go about life and like completely leaves the business. Now we'll get into the ending when we get to the ending.
So let me say this, as I said, my relationship with Manny throughout the movie was a roller coaster. Up, down. I love his drive. I love his hunger. But the means and how he got there and what he had to do, I'm not a fan and everything. But the thing that really, really crushed me and got to me that I really can't stand is to seeing his hopefully this is not like a slur or anything, his simp behavior when it comes to Nelly.
So listen,
I can't stand that.
So I've got a note here.
Okay, I'll let you take that.
A note that says Nelly was incredibly annoying. She pissed me off so much during this movie. Just bad, not for bad reasons. Like it wasn't like I'll get her off my screen kind of thing. Like I loved her performance. It was just the character was making such bad decisions at certain times that I was just like, this is getting so like please stop. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And she kept on dragging Manny into this shit, and then in the end it just reached boiling point, and it's just like, and the fact that she left in the end pissed me off even more. Yeah, because Manny was. Bro,
she ruined him.
Yeah, she was like the gambling issues and all of that. Like she had great scenes, which I was like even the party scene when she was trying to act really proper. And
that's fantastic.
By the way, that was the second time when he threw up when she threw up on that guy.
She's trying to be all kind of like highfalutin and that kind of thing.
But when she got onto them, I was like, yes, Nelly. Yeah. Tell them. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They're not better than you. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But then she would do this other shit, like she would go gamble and do all of these, make these terrible decisions, and it just
so much coke as well.
Oh my god, it annoyed me so much. Like, but I knew from the start, her introduction, that she was gonna be that kind of character, so I didn't mind. And
but there was loads of kind of quote unquote it girls at the time of the advent of the kind of like that transition into sound, who were kind of crazy and stuff like that, who did like drugs and like did really like bad stuff and stuff like that, and flamed out, and like early 30s, they were just out of the business kind of thing. And similar to her, but in her case, she ends up dying.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Isn't
Like,
sorry, go on.
no. I was just touching up like on the whole Nelly, because she kept like, yes, she was reckless and everything, but the mere fact that he was so smitten by her, he was willing to take an L for her. She didn't care,
Bro,
he saw her go through so many like relationships and so many, and he didn't care. And I'm looking at him thinking, you're a sucker.
he fell in love with her the first
moment.
Yeah.
Yes,
First moment he
you
saw
know
her.
what? That okay. I can't speak on that.
Yeah.
But he was a sucker straight through.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He was just sold, man. It's like, you know what got me?
Do you think? Hold on. Do you guys think that scene in the beginning? You know when Manny's saying, "I want to do something that means something" and
Yes.
stuff like that. Do you think that's what kind of made him start falling in love with her? Because maybe he's the only one that kind of like she was believing
They had
in
the
her.
same goals.
That's amazing. Like I love that. Do you know what I'm trying to
she
say?
believed
Do you
in,
think
yeah.
maybe that was part of it as well?
That could have been 100%.
Because I can imagine at that time, like people like I forgot the character's name, but Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes.
They weren't really trying to give him jobs like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
and do those things. So maybe I'm thinking like she believed in him.
Yeah.
So he kind of saw her as like, oh wow.
But
I like
the one
her.
thing that he loves more than her, though, is the movies. Because you saw
Yeah.
his face. You know, when that wonderful sequence where he was told, go get a camera.
Yeah.
Go get a camera. And he goes to get the camera. And like
And
he's
waits
waiting
an
there for a
hour.
while, waiting for an hour, even though the guy said half an hour. Oh,
Yeah.
I hate stuff like that. And then he has the ingenuity to take the ambulance van and get there in time for the light, for that kind of German expressionist director, which is played by Spike Lee.
Spike Jones.
Spike Jones. Thanks for that. Oh my, that would have been a horrible mistake. By Spike Jones, and then for him to catch the last bit of the light,
Yeah.
and for him to kind of do that scene, and for the Margot. For the Nellie Leroy to do her kind of crying scene, stuff like that.
Oh, they did that at the same time.
At the
isn't
same
it?
time,
That was
and
great.
that kind of intercutting was
Yeah,
fantastic.
that was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
And then you see those like fantastic cinematography where they're going up the hill and you see all the people
Yeah.
trying to make sure that Brad Pitt's character Jack Conrad doesn't fall down the hill. Kind of thing. You see Manny at the bottom of the hill, like looking over and stuff like that. And it was just incredible. And when they get this shot, and you see like Manny's like near enough in tears. How beautiful it is.
He was part of this.
Yeah, he was part of this.
Yeah, and that's
he
what he
made it
wanted to do.
happen.
He
And
wanted
all
to
the
be part of it.
explosions, stuff like that, and then the butterfly on the shoulder, and you see Spike Jones, and he's like, he was going crazy the whole day, and he goes,
He's like, I love you. So he kissed him in it.
he kissed her on the lips.
But
Yeah, I
you-
love you.
Look, you see,
Amazing scene.
I think I was a bit sort. I don't know why I was thinking this, but you see when he took the ambulance,
Yeah.
because the light, obviously the light going, that was such a suspense where it almost like, okay, like it's gonna go now. They're gonna miss the light. I thought, this is just me. I thought the reason why he took the ambulance, because obviously to use, the lights on the front of the ambulance. That's what I thought.
Okay, fair enough.
No, but I did think,
But then
why
when
did
it
he
happened,
take the
yeah.
ambulance? Where was his car that he came
No, because obviously his
Did I
car
miss
was going at
something?
like 40 miles per hour or something
Oh,
like
it's
that.
too slow, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I think
and
the ambulance
also the
went
ambulance would
faster.
have got out of traffic.
Got priority because of the sirens and everything.
Got you.
But yeah,
Makes a lot
but
of
yeah, I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna use the light, and then it happened. I was like, oh, fair enough, I got it wrong. But you see why. But then going back to what I was saying, as soon as they said scene or ready, Jack Conrad was just on it.
Yeah. And
brilliant,
it goes back into what you were saying before, bro. The professionalism of the time.
Yeah.
Like these people like made so many movies. They were all under contract. They had to literally stay in houses on the studio lots, stuff like that, and just be ready on a beck and call to make a certain amount of movies a day and stuff like that.
Can I just going back to sort of like the way how scenes were carried? Yeah. Can I speak on Jack Conrad's ending?
That was tragic, man.
No, but not so much the obviously the action itself.
Yeah.
That piece of camera work there.
Well, following up the stairs.
Yeah.
And then the
You know
doors
what?
slightly
No.
open.
You know what? Yeah. It was teasing me because I knew it was gonna happen.
Everyone knew
same.
it was
But
happening.
no. Shall I tell you when I knew it was gonna happen? When he gave
The
bellhop.
tip.
when he
bellhop,
gave when he gave the bellhop the tip,
Yeah.
I was like, I know what I know what's gonna happen here. But then when he went into the room and closed it, but it never closed and it came ajar.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. He doesn't
I-
care
I-
anymore.
No.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to look away, but I needed to watch it
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that was incredible. Because he took us on that journey, thinking like that piece of camera work there and that acting there was just amazing because nothing needed to be said. It was all told in the shot.
Yeah, he just
That goes into sorry, Mo, that goes back to the Chinese character. I forgot her name.
I love her.
for Lady Faye.
Lady
Faye.
Faye. Yeah, she was a kind of like a.
I don't know if she's Chinese.
She was an amalgam. The character was Chinese.
Oh, what
she
is
was,
it?
she was an amalgam of a lot of kind of East Asian kind of women at the time who were in movies and stuff like that, and did like a lot of musical stuff and stuff like that, as well as did a lot of writing like she did. Like she did a lot of the writing for the silent movies and stuff like that. Kind of a screenwriter for one of an expression.
She was brilliant. She was brilliant. But then again, I had an issue with how she was sort of treated. Yet she's almost like a shut up and dribble LeBron situation.
Yeah, and also how they're portrayed and how they're kind of like how a lot of kind of even especially like in the West, especially America, how like a lot of East Asian women are kind of like fetishized in a way, if that makes sense. And it kind of felt like that. Even for example, when she was at her home and a guy, a white guy, comes into her parents' kind of place of business. And when the guy sees it's her, like the guy completely changes.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
He's upset, that kind of thing. But yeah, like I think she was a great character. She kind of like grounded a lot of the scenes that she was in and stuff like that. And by the way, the fighting the snake in the desert.
You know what? I wanted to talk.
I nearly puked. That was. I thought you were going to talk about that because by the sound of her sucking the venom out of the neck.
I didn't mind.
I didn't mind that.
That was crazy. The sound of that, the slurping, like it was horrible.
I have to say, I think me and you are going to say the same thing. Yeah. What the hell was the point of that scene? Cause they're at the party, right?
Yeah.
Margot Robbie comes, she's on the shoulders of this football team, whatever, yeah?
The UFC football.
Right, so she comes off them shoulders, she says, first of all, she kissed him in front of his fiance. That was kind of crazy. And then, but she introduces the dad, and then the dad is talking to, I think was it Lady Faye at the time? The dad was
talking to someone on the bench.
Sure, they were talking to someone, and she has this look, yeah? And then she dances with Lady Faye. And she still has a look, and then afterwards she just flips out and goes. She went into the actual toilet. She overheard someone talking.
Right, her dad.
It wasn't her dad.
That wasn't her dad.
It wasn't her dad.
Her dad was still on the bench outside of the party.
It was somebody within the production team talking, just saying that she's washed.
Oh, okay.
And so then when she came and wanted the dad to fight the snake,
I didn't get that.
I was like, why are you doing this?
Again, I think it was kind of something like bubbling over because she heard her dad like basically just like talking about her and like kind of taking a lot of credit.
Like I'm gonna make a diner and
stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. And obviously she has her own kind of trauma about, because obviously we saw from like when she first came on set, like she just says, "How do you cry?" Remember when? By the way, the female director, by the way, is Damien Chazelle's wife. Yeah. And when she asks her, "How do you cry on command like that?" She goes, "It's easy. I just think of home."
Yes.
I just thought, I don't know. So it was basically that trauma in it and stuff like that from her dad. Who, by the way, funny enough,
no, she said her dad was the only one she would basically take with her. Yeah. Because so I don't think that's the trauma. I was thinking like
it's her mother. It came from her because we saw her in the kind of.
Did you see the way she treated her? I didn't like that.
That snake scene just fell flat for me, if I'm being honest with you. I was just kind of like, what's going on?
I was like, why?
But quickly, a fun fact: Ben Roberts, who played Nellie Roy's father, is Julia Roberts' brother, and also Emily Roberts, who's an actress. Yeah. It's her dad. It's her.
He's great. He's in a lot of stuff.
So it was funny casting if you think of it that way. So guys, just to kind of go to the ending.
That's what I was just about to talk about.
Because guys, we need to talk about the descent into hell. Basically,
but before that, I just want to say the scene with Brad Pitt and Jean Smart, Eleanor St. John's character, when she's basically telling him your time is done.
You're washed, yeah.
I thought that was acted perfectly, and also it just made me think of like, you know, athletes and like sometimes when their career's done, because you have to like end your career early.
I thought of Ronaldo.
Yeah, and I just thought
I did.
Fair enough. But like, it just made me think of like those athletes that after their career's done, they don't know what to do with life. Yeah. And like he lost his purpose and stuff like that. That's why I felt bad for him. Do you know what I'm trying to say in the movie? Because I was just like, and it made me want to ask you lot, like Nellie Leroy died at 34, Jack Conrad died at 30, whatever, this and that. Why at that time were these why were their careers so short? Because in this day and age, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, you're done at 30 something."
No, but they are. They are.
Is it?
People, they just kind of they no longer get the calls.
But everyone, a lot of people get a resurgence though. Like,
no.
Now they do, and
Because if that was the case, we would have no Michael Caines. We would have no.
No, I hear that. So
they only serve a certain purpose, and they make a movie once every couple of years.
But look at what's that guy who done the Goonies? What's that guy who was in Everything Everywhere All at Once?
The guy who was in it, Ki Kwan.
Yeah. When his acceptance speech, that was so powerful because he was talking about, he was basically sitting by the phone and it never rang.
Yeah.
And then obviously with that, it shows there is a sense of resurgence, even with Brendan Fraser in The Well now. Yeah. So that is something that's happening now. Not before. Before, when you're washed up, you're washed up.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. But now it's happening.
It's just sad that their careers ended so early. I was just like, damn.
Guys, could we talk about the Descent into Hell?
Before we do that, just one last
Tobey
thing.
Maguire was quality, but go on.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire as McKay was fantastic. Just one last thing. I think a lot of people don't know about this, but it was reported that Leonardo DiCaprio was first choice for Jack Conrad.
I could see that.
Does that make you feel any different about the Brad Pitt performance?
No. Can I just say something? No. Reason why? Shall I tell you why?
Yeah.
Because me personally, he had his shot in Gatsby, The Great Gatsby. It's similar. No. For me, like
for me, it's more like a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, that's the reason why I said
no. I'm not. I'm talking about like how the aesthetic,
the character. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
The Great Gatsby, brilliant. I love it. I liked it. Yeah, I think that was his. He can't have Jack Conrad and Gatsby. He can't have both of them.
I would say I wouldn't have minded Leo, but the thing is, Brad Pitt as an actor, I actually love him as an actor.
Oh, he's brilliant.
I think he's so good as an actor.
No, Brad Pitt is a fantastic actor, but Brad Pitt has one problem, and it doesn't really happen a lot in the industry, where he has a leading man's kind of like face, but he's a character actor. He's a character actor in a leading man's body. That's what I've always thought. Because think
he's a character actor?
I think he's a fantastic character, because some of his best performances have been him being a character actor, supporting character, like Cliff Booth in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Sure. In Fight Club as Tyler Durden, you know what I'm saying? He's not the main guy, but he's
Seven.
But
in Fight again, Morgan Freeman's
I get it.
first Nkoshi.
But kind of he's the one who gets like remembered the most out of those movies.
Yeah.
The final scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, people remember it because of Brad Pitt.
Of course.
Fight Club, Tyler Durden, that's his name. People, what's Edward Norton's name in that movie?
I don't know. No.
When he does it, I get what you're saying about character actor now, but when he does his job, he does it right, bro. Proper.
By the way, like another film, like he leaded in and it really worked, was Killing Them Softly. Yeah. Which is something you should watch. But anyway, let's finally go into the Descent into Hell.
That scene, man. Hey.
I you know what? Again, what was brilliant about this movie, I could never tell.
Yeah.
Because the Descent, I'm thinking the whole time, like, Toby, he knows. Let me tell
you how stupid I am, yeah.
Go on.
The guy's telling Manny, this is the prop money. Yeah. In my head, it's the prop department's money, the budget. What? They go down to the dungeon, the waterfalls and the thing. I was like,
so literally
only then.
I got you.
So Mo,
on my mom's life, he's going mad about prop money. I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's the department prop, like, because he's a studio executive, innit?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh, he took the but then I'm thinking to myself, 85,000 back then, that's maybe too much for that. Like, my mind is going crazy. But then when the water dropped on the thing, I was like, okay.
You know that's an L,
bro. Right, I felt so dumb.
Ken, the fact that he admitted that on camera is crazy.
Yeah,
I felt so stupid, bro.
But you know what? Yeah, that scene right there, I was like, the anxiety.
Yeah,
because I put myself in that situation. Yeah. If somebody put me in that situation, where you're giving mob people prop money and just being so nonchalant about it. Yeah, no, I got it from. How do you think we want to get?
Yeah. You see me, yeah?
You know what? I would have been out. I don't know what I would have done, but I would have been out.
Listen, you see when he's telling, come drink, come see, whatever. I probably would have conformed to that, yeah? As soon as I saw that crocodile, I'm fighting all of you. I'm not going past this crocodile, bro.
Bro, I thought it, no.
And I jumped when that light came on in the crocodile.
Yo, I don't think you lot understand. I thought the crocodile was it. I thought that was it.
Bro, there's a bit when they go in there, yeah, when they're finally in there, yeah, and there's someone standing next to Manny Torres and his face is deformed, and I didn't see it until the second shot again, yeah. I said to my wife, "Did you just see that?" And then it came back again. I was like, "Whoa!"
It was so scary, man.
Terrifying.
Like when they got to level with the freak show was scary. When they went to that kind of like weird kind of burlesque kind of thing, and then you could hear just horrible noises. It was just such a horrible place. That's why I call it. That's why I'm calling it Descent to Hell, because it was like the most scariest of the red lights.
It was literally,
it was horrible.
And Tony McGuire's like, we don't have parties like this no more. Like, you're mad, man.
And you know, like, by the way, it's such a flex to get Toby Maguire to do that, by the way. And also Ethan Suplee, by the way, who was a kind of big heavy guy from, what do you call it, My Name Is Earl, and that kind of stuff,
clearing his throat
and spitting everywhere.
Bro,
it kind of reminded me of Boogie Nights and the Alfred Molina scene.
A lot of people relate me to Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
The first time he cleared his throat, I laughed. The second, third time I didn't. But when they were going down the stairs and it was dark, and he did it again, got me.
No, it wasn't even funny or disgusting. I just looked. That was just so intimidating.
It got me.
How is man? All you're hearing, behind you, because every time he's hitting it, I'm thinking, like that's another bullet. That's another bullet, bro. It was so intimidating. But you have to understand how stacked of a cast this movie had.
It was crazy.
It was even people having cameos.
Yeah.
It was incredible, because for someone who loves movies, everything's in this for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, because we have to wrap on this one.
Yeah.
I want to talk about when Manny Torres came back and he sat in that theatre house.
And the ending. We have to talk about the ending.
Perfect. I'm glad you're saying this. This is the last talking point, and then we're going to give our scores, guys. We're going to close out, yeah?
Yeah.
So, go. End scene.
Mate, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And for me, who works in media, and I'm not saying I understand it, but work in media, like, again, for me to see symbolisms and obviously showing, like, from the beginning to now, and the avatar and everything, and just the RGB and all of that sort of stuff, I was smitten, because I said, this is the perfect ending for the movie.
The chemical reactions in the film and all that kind of stuff.
It was it was the culmination of the movie. Personally, you couldn't have finished that movie anywhere else.
Yeah,
but there.
That's the point when I was like, this is a love letter to cinema.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought the editing choices at the end were interesting, because I love
they lingered too long on the avatar.
Yeah.
Come on. They lingered too long.
No, I didn't care.
It's not even just the avatar thing. Like, at that point, the music as well was getting, like, I love the score. And,
the score by Justin Horowitz was incredible.
Yeah, but it got so much, my head was gonna explode at the end.
It
like,
was loud.
There was a lot in it. Like, I was like, he's paying homage in a nice way, and I loved it. And
you have to respect it.
Yeah, and showing that, like, Manny actually, because they were playing a movie basically about their life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was intercut between Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like those scenes,
Showing
we've seen them in the movie.
We've seen them in the movie, and now we understand where they come from.
So when he come back and he's smiling and crying, and I was like, yes, he fulfilled his dream, like something bigger than him, that he worked on something that was bigger than him, that meant something more, and he sees it on the screen now, and it's like, cool, Hollywood.
I thought the majority of the crying was for Nelly.
It was, but literally the final shot after that whole editing craziness, it was him smiling.
Okay,
So I was
because of
like,
movies.
He did it.
He achieved it.
That made me happy, man. So yeah.
Let's go to the scoring.
Scoring.
By the way, just before you do that, I thought it took me out of the scene. The kind of like a montage of all the films took me out of the film.
A lot of people did say
I didn't like that.
A lot of people
and
did
again,
say that.
for me, that could have been cut. Again, like the kind of celluloid stuff could have been kept in, but when you go into Terminator and you're lingering on the avatar.
You don't like the kind of timeline of it though, like from the silent to the black and white to the this to the that to the avatar and whatnot. I thought it was kind. I get what you're saying.
It took me out of it because when I saw Avatar in Babylon, it took me out of it, guys. I have to be real. It took me out of it.
So when you say Terminator, why Avatar?
Terminator as well. Like when I saw the kind of like the more kind of like modern films, it took me out of it.
But that's just the evolution. It's just showing the evolution in the montage. So
I understood what it was representing, but I'm just saying.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I get it. All right, cool. Quick ones. We probably missed a lot of stuff because this movie was long.
Yeah, there's so much.
There's so much more to talk about.
Yeah. Hashtag, we'll start with you. What do you score this out of 10? The small time critic score. The STC score. Go on.
Okay, STC score.
Hashtag
STC score. Go on.
Okay. This would have been definitely my top 10, by the way, of the year. Because it's gonna be counted as the.
I was gonna say, is it counted as 22 or 23?
It's counted as 22 because it came out in America just before Christmas.
So not fair.
Yeah, I don't know how it works and stuff like that. But for me, right now, 7.5. Right now, 7.5. And it will, I think on a rewatch, it'll probably go up to an 8.
I think that's super respectable, yeah.
Yeah, 7.5.
Kem?
Yeah, again, going in there not knowing what I was going to watch, a 7.5 is fair. There are some things in it that I didn't understand. Maybe if I understood it, it may have got a 0.5 more. But 7.5 is it's a solid score.
Got you. Yeah, I'd put it like between 7.5 and 8, so like a 7.7, I would say is safe spot for me. It was like I said, I was never bored during the movie or anything. And like you said in the beginning of this review, there's just scenes that are just going to stand the test of time and certain quotables and things like that. And like the scene with Brad Pitt and Gene Smart and so many different, the Sidney Palmer
all
scenes.
the movie making
those
fantastic.
Things, it was great. So yeah, 7.7. I thought it was great. Long movie, but I thought it was pretty good. I was never bored, like I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, that was our Babylon review. Oh man, that was fun.
That was very fun. That was very fun.
All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this review. Leave a comment, let us know what you think of the review. Yeah, and you'll see us soon with some more reviews and discussions and whatnot.
Peace.
Peace.